Morning. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. It's Friday. It's not snowing in the Northeast, so you can't get much better than that, right?
Yeah. So I got Jason here with me, and Kaleo's joining us in just a second.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Before we get going, you guys can see my screen okay here before while we're waiting for everybody else?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Perfect. So you guys are going to Field Edge, if my notes are correct, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to take a quick look at everything. I do have a very limited Field Edge account that they've given me to demo for you guys, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. I think they actually demo with my price book inside as well, so it'll probably look pretty familiar to you. Then we'll just jump in the back and look at the customization, how you guys can change everything, do everything. And then, of course, we'll do questions the whole time. We'll talk about success and pricing, and then I'll get you guys back to your day here. So just let me know when we have everybody, and we'll hit the ground running.
We're all here.
Awesome. That was easy enough. You guys see the agenda. This is usually kind of how we like to hit it. Pain points, really, you guys go into Field Edge. That really tells me everything I need to know. Introduction is just saying hello, which we've already done. So really, we're just going to jump right into it. You guys should see the iPad pop up right here, and we will jump right inside Mr. Field Edge, and we'll come in here and take a look. So this is going to be your home. Really, we're just going to look at the price book today, guys. I really like to be clear that there's a very definitive line in the sand of what Field Edge does and what Profit Rhino does inside of Field Edge. We are just going to be the images, descriptions, upsells, cross-sells, that kind of stuff. Once it goes into the invoice, again, we're going right back into the Field Edge world. So I just like to go over that. So if I have to refer any questions back to Field Edge, you guys just understand why. So that being said, we'll jump in my limited price book they give me here. So what you can see here, our real big thing is images. We will have over 1,900 custom images in the book now, all of which can be changed, updated, and unlimited images added to by you folks here. Again, the setup here, you guys can also control this. If you guys aren't doing any heating and AC work, we can actually turn this off so you'd only see the plumbing book. Probably you'd also want the drain cleaning book, which isn't here currently. But again, just to ease of use, you guys can really control the setup and how everything looks here. So if we jump into a plumbing category, you can see we're going to go into what parts of the house. We do also have a bath section, or excuse me, a kitchen bar bath section here as well. We have some line work stuff. I'll jump into our standalone app and show you guys actually everything that's included here. But again, we want to ask ourselves what part of the house are we going to go to next for a plumbing job. Once we go into the bath, then we're going to ask what part of the bathroom are we going to, the faucet, the sink, the toilet, and then from there, we're really going to hit the price book. This is where those images really take over. Again, you can see if you need a faucet, derivator, shower head, super easy to pick out. We're always going to be showing 2 levels of pricing. We're really trying to push those service agreements. If you guys are like everybody else, your techs aren't the best salesmen out there. So we're really going to put this up here and try and see if we can't start this conversation organically and get the customer to ask how they can save $60 or $50 here. So any kind of questions on any of the stuff we've taken a peek at so far, guys?
Yeah, I saw that you got bathrooms, but does it also separate the bathrooms, like hallway bathroom, master bathroom, or powder room?
No, all the bath tasks will just be under bath. That's just bath is where you're going to find your your fixtures here, your shower heads, your faucets, your stuff like that. And then
Okay.
things will be in another category.
Okay, thank you.
Nope, no problem. Anything else, guys?
Not so far.
Awesome.
How many categories do you have just in plumbing?
Just in plumbing itself, I believe it's 9. Like I said, after we look in Field Edges so you guys know what it looks like in here, we'll jump in our app where I have a full book loaded. You guys will get the entire book, and we'll look at all the different categories for you guys. Again, I really just want to give you guys a feel of what it's going to look like in ServiceTitan right here at this point.
Okay.
Cool. So if we hit one of these faucets and go inside again, this is what the task looks like when you open it up. We're going to show the pricing. We do have a third pricing here. Usually we turn it off because that's your night and weekend pricing, and you don't want to scare the customer with it unless you're actually going to charge it. And then the description is just down below. Again, ServiceTitan Field Edge won't even allow me to add this to an invoice in the demo account they provide. Once this goes into an invoice, though, the picture will appear in the invoice as well. And then again, we're back into the world of Field Edge. Again, I really just kind of wanted to jump in and show you guys a bit of the look, the functionality, the feel of it here, so you guys will have an idea how that looks.
Okay.
So very good. Great. If there's no questions, let's quick look at what you're actually going to get with the price book here today. You can see I'm going to jump into Profit Rhino Pro here, and let's just take a quick look around the book. These are all your standard categories here. You can see, again, we can adjust everything that's here. We do have a drain cleaning miscellaneous is going to be your service agreements, labor adders, that kind of stuff as well. And then in your normal plumbing book here, we're going to have 9 categories. The kitchen bar, the bath, the laundry. We have some light commercial stuff. We have water quality as well as pools, and then your line work as well here. You guys will get all these books with the images, everything you see here as well today. So again, just to give you guys an idea of everything that's included here. Now, are you guys strictly doing plumbing? You're not doing any electrical, any HVAC, anything else?
Yes, strictly plumbing.
Strictly plumbing. Awesome. So we'll say right here, again, we looked in the bath, kitchen bar. We're going to go in here. What's your most common, task once you go into the kitchen? Your drain and supply, small equipment, your garbage disposals, in the sink here. Really, the way we set this book up, the point is to start at the top of the funnel, get to that task you need to do as quick as possible. So really, we just, again, want to start plumbing, bath, kitchen, what we're doing too, and then go to those specific jobs as well. You can see the laundry here. We have any tubs or basins, and then mostly is going to be connections and supplies in your laundry here. So those are built out that way. Again, water quality, if you guys are doing your water softeners, that stuff, and pools as well are all built in for you guys. We can also build any tasks that you guys are doing that we don't currently have inside of here. Any questions? Anything you guys want to jump in and take a look at as far as what's included with the price book?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Really, guys, let's just jump in the web portal and look at the customization. Really, again, Field Edge is handling all your dispatch, your invoicing, all that stuff. We're just doing these pricing images, so we don't have a lot to look at on that end. But let's jump in the web portal and show you really where you're going to get all your value here out of Profit Rhino today. And sorry, I just had a very long-winded customer right before you guys here, so I'm not exactly as prepared as I should be, so give me just a second. All right, thanks for that, guys. Sorry about that. This is the home screen, the web portal of Profit Rhino. What we're doing here, this is really where we're going to control all of our billing, all of our service agreement rates, our nights and weekend rates, our parts costs. You can see here, the hourly rate is $190. This is what we're billing off of. We are doing flat rate to the customer, but in all reality here, we are assigning a time to this job. We're billing it off our bill out rate here, and then we're going to mark our parts up according to our parts markup chart, and then we're just pushing it out to the customer on the platform as a flat rate price here. So this is where you can adjust that rate. This is always going to be your service agreement rate. If they don't have a service agreement, we're actually going to bump that rate up. Here we're doing 15%. And then we do have the third rate for premium, like we talked about, your nights and weekends, that we're bumping up 25%. Again, to the right here is your sales tax. Pretty self-explanatory there. And then down here is your parts margin. I'm sure you folks are very familiar with how this is done. All your low-cost stuff is marked up very high. The higher the cost, the lower the markup percentage here. Again, like everything else, you guys can come in here. You can change all these matrix to be whatever you guys would like them to be. You can also do it by a markup percentage or a profit percentage here. And really cool thing we built kind of out of necessity is this industry default. If you go through and change a bunch of things, then kind of decide it didn't go the way you want, you can always default all your parts pricing right to this page. And then the last thing here to point out is the drop-down box. You can see we're in the heating book, jump in the plumbing book, we're still at 190 here, but this will allow you to offer different rates across different trades. So all these books can be set up with different bill-out rates, different service agreement discounts, different parts markups. So that way, if you guys do want to charge different rates between drain cleaning and plumbing, you guys can set those books up independently, and this will really work as 9 different books for you folks here. Any questions on that stuff? I know it's pretty straightforward stuff there.
No, I don't. You?
No.
Perfect.
Hold
on. There is a question.
Does the material, do you guys update material costs?
Currently in the book we do. Once you guys purchase from us, we don't unless you guys ask us to, simply for the fact if we go run an update, it can change any customization that you guys have done. But we'll actually jump into the to the parts, the materials here, and just hit that part since you asked. This is where your parts are. Usually what 90+% of our customers do is we just get an Excel sheet from your distributor or manufacturer, and we just load that in. That way all the prices are current, correct, has the same descriptions you're used to, the same part numbers you're used to, just that much easier for you guys. And then usually every quarter, twice a year, we have you guys grab a new list. We'll just load that new list in, take the old one out, update all your parts prices. That's the way probably 90% of the people choose to do it. It seems to be the easiest. Otherwise, we can go in here and adjust these parts. We can, adjust them all individually. You can also go update cost by product line. So if we want to go in here and say copper went up 5% last week, we can do 5%, update it. It's going to update every piece of copper in your book by 5%, and then price it accordingly to that parts markup we just looked at on the last page. So we can. I'm sorry, was there a question?
Outstanding invoices, how is that going to affect those? So invoices the customers have not paid yet, and you go and change the prices, is that going to affect existing invoices that are already been established?
No, those invoices are already established. They're already saved at those titles, are those costs in Field Edge. So this is only going to affect new things that are added to the, to new invoices from the time you set this forward.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. And again, just really cool that you can update all your copper there. In the old days, you either went through hundreds of tasks or just took the hit most likely, right? So really cool there. And again, just keep in mind, anything in Excel sheet we can load in here, parts, tasks, anything like that. So any tasks you guys want to bring over that we don't have, we can do that as well. Just backtrack a little bit here, manage book. We talked a little bit about this. For you guys, we want to take plumbing. We want to make it number 1. Show up top left. You guys aren't doing heating, AC, electric. We just toggle these right off. Then they don't see. When you guys open the tablet, you're only going to see the plumbing book. Only see what you want your techs to see. Just going to make them work faster, more efficient, less mistakes. No need for them to be getting into stuff they don't need to be in here. So, and then we can do that at all the levels as well. If you guys aren't doing pools, we can turn off the pool book. We can do that at all the levels. So just really cool. You guys can control that. Next one here is tasks. This is really the big one as far as customization. This is where all our current tasks are. You can see we're about 3,700 now. If we just go into that faucet we looked at here, I'll show you how we can quickly go ahead and change all this stuff here. Now, if we want to go in, this is where I can change the description of this faucet, the secondary description, which is always something that's going to tell us a little more about the product for the tech, your customer description here. And then we talked about how we're billing. We are doing time and material in the back end. So we're billing this faucet off 60 minutes of labor time off that 190 we had set, our parts with our markup, and that's where we're getting this price to push out on the tablet to the customer. You guys have full control over the labor time, over the parts here, the adjustments. You guys can do all that. Also, just to note, if this labor time looks a little high, we do have extra time included in every single task for sales, setup, talking to the customer, so you guys are paid for your customer-facing time, not just your wrench time.
So is this something our scheduler would have to get familiar with the time frames?
All these times are pre-built to a national average. To be perfectly honest, most people don't adjust them very much. But yeah, that's something we'll do in the success meeting, is just kind of see, where your techs are. If your techs normally take 50 minutes to do this, we may want to push it up to 75, 80 minutes then to get that extra customer facing time in. That's something we'll take care of with the success program.
But it wouldn't matter because they're.
No, I guess what I'm trying to say is that at Faucet, in this particular platform, is however much time. When we go and do a faucet for somebody, we could say one tech could do it for one time and one tech could do it for another time. But we're assessing the job at one flat rate, so the time is always going to remain the same.
Correct. That is correct.
So that will auto-populate when we're doing the schedule for the customer, when we're scheduling. Will this affect, or do we have to maintain with that same time frame for my scheduler so they know what is being applied to the invoice?
But they don't know exactly what they're doing until the tech gets out there, so the increments need to stay the same.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out.
I mean, like these are.
Field Edge will recognize these task times in here, and put that out in the report. So, it'll say Tech A had, 8 hours of task. It took them 9 hours to do. Tech B had 10 hours of task. He did in 8 hours. That'll tell you that. The scheduling question, that is going to be a function in Field Edge. And just to be honest, I don't know the answer. I would refer that back to Field Edge as far as scheduling. I know they will take these times, so I would assume that would work. But again, that's a functionality of theirs. I really don't want to speak out of turn about it because I'm not 100% sure how it's going to fit. To hit the second part of your question, though, as far as this labor time, we're really just going to try and get an average of labor time. So if Tech A can do it in 30 minutes and Tech B can do it in 40 minutes, we want to get it somewhere around 35, so it's going to kind of come out in the wash. Unfortunately, sometimes really good techs don't make as much money for you as weaker techs, simply because they're not there on the job as long. So we just want to find a happy median in there. And then again, as far as the scheduling, I'd really refer that back to Field Edge.
This thing, this system, can it also pick up, I mean, like, if we decided to pay our techs commission on each job, would this also help put together a sheet at the end of the week that we're doing it all flat, not flat rate, but what do you call it? Flat rate? Yeah, flat rate. So flat rate with commission for a job, would this put those numbers together for us when at the end of the week for what that tech did?
What it'll do here, in this accounting section, we can actually set it, yes, if it's going to pay commission here, yes or no, but it's not going to put in a dollar amount. So you'll be able to run the report and know Tech A did 8 commissionable jobs under the commission job report, but it's not going to say how much. Say this faucet pays 100, shower head pays 70. It's not going to give us those numbers. It's just going to say that, Tech 1 did X amount of commissionable jobs this week, month, day, whatever you guys run the report for.
Okay. Yeah. No, actually.
Can you say commission on top of it?
Actually, you get rid of the hourly and you go. This is actually how most companies make money, because you can adjust the hourly. You can adjust your hourly to reflect the job.
He just got done saying somebody who's a good tech is going to make you money.
That's if they're paying them hourly. That's like they're paying them hourly, but if we're paying them a commission, it would be in their benefit to get the job done quick so they could move on. And also in this system, you can actually manipulate your hourly to whatever number you want to make.
Yeah, 190 right now.
So when customers call, they'll be like, oh, hey, we charge $135 an hour. We don't charge by the hour anymore. We charge flat rate, and you can charge $160 an hour, $180 an hour in the flat rate system, and you never have to answer the question, how much do you charge per hour? You know.
Okay, so then what happens if they have to do a warranty job? And so we've already paid them commission on that job.
They-
Are we paying them again?
No, they
Oh, they don't
lose.
get paid?
They don't get paid to do warranty work.
Their own.
They're paid commission. So if you're not making money on the job in return, they don't make a commission on all that.
They'll talk.
If somebody else does it up, then the first guy that went out there has to pay the guy that went back out
I can
there.
explain all that to you.
Okay.
I can explain
Okay,
all that to you.
I just want to make sure that this, okay,
Okay.
sorry. All right.
No problems, guys. Just a few more things I want to show you here. Calculations. This is a really cool tab. This is going to show us, and this is for every single task, all 3,900, what the parts cost you guys, what you sold them to the customer for, what the labor cost you, what you charge a customer for it, and on which one of the three rates, the value, standard, or premium rate, it's going to tell us what we made in dollars or what we made in profit percentage. Really cool spot check. If you guys are doing, a dozen faucets a week, come in here and make sure that your profitability is where you need it to be. If not, we can go in, we can adjust the labor time, we can adjust the parts markup to get us there. Also, I tell people if you ever build a task from scratch on your own, I implore you to click on this tab and look for half a second at those three lines, and it'll tell you if you built this task correctly or not. If it's 20%, you got to put some labor time on it. If it's 80, 90%, maybe you got to consider backing it down a little bit. So again, just a really neat spot check to make sure you guys are staying profitable on your jobs there. The second tab here is categories. This simply tells us where this is coming from or where this is found in the book under plumbing, bath faucet new. Marketing. This is where we can control the upsells and cross sells, which I just realized I didn't even show you guys. Let's quick take a look at those. These are functional in Field Edge once you get going in Field Edge. So if we go into a bathroom faucet here, and let's just look at that good one we just did. At the bottom, we're always going to show our customer common alternatives here. Really, this faucet's fine. Hot water comes out, cold water comes out, but you'd rather sell them one of these because you're going to make more money on it. So really, we're just going to put those options in front of the customer. People like options, and they say a little less than half the time you're going to sell something besides the cheapest option when you give it to them. So if even say a quarter of the time we can get them up, $80 a ticket at the end of the year, that's really cool. Another neat thing is once we go here, you can notice now we're not going to show the other two faucets. We're never going to try and step them down into something lower. We're always going to try and step them up. Next thing was add to quote. When we do this, we always have what we call our cross-sells. And what these are, I always attribute this to Amazon.com. If you're familiar with that, whenever you buy something, they try and sell you 3 or 4 more things. We're going to do the same thing. Tell the customer normally when we do this, people get a shut-off, a pop-up, service agreements, whatever it is. And again, just take another opportunity, try and sell a customer to something, and we're going to let it pop up on the screen and kind of take that salesmanship away from the tech, move it into the technology a bit here. So apologize I didn't show you guys that before, and that will function the same in Field Edge. And again, this is where we can change all that. Here's that shut off and pop up and those better faucets. We can add tasks to show up. We can go ahead and we can delete them as well. So very easy stuff there. Next one here is images.
Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the marketing, we can actually incorporate membership programs and stuff, for gold membership or silver membership or whatever the case is for preferred customers, or is that where you'd actually put that in if you wanted to sell them a maintenance plan?
Absolutely. I think that's a great spot for a maintenance plan. It's a good stop. You have the customer's interest at that point. You're kind of taking a quick stop to look at the other products. I think it's a great place to put your planned maintenance there. My suggestion always is don't go more than 3 or 4. You can put unlimited things here. You can have 25 things in this description. It gets really diluted once you get past 3 or 4. The customer gets a little frazzled. So I really think you should keep it to the 3 or 4 number. But again, to circle back to your question, absolutely, I think it's a great place to put your service or your planned maintenance agreement programs. So cool. Next one here is images. This is just where the images are housed here. We can go ahead and adjust these images. We can download images from any kind of library. If you guys Delta, Mo, and Kohler, or you guys are brand specific, we can get their images. We'll put them in here now. Everything is American Standard images as it sits. Also really cool, connected right with Google Images. So we can go right in here and Google anything. Faucets, stock numbers, part numbers, all work. All you have to do is grab the photo, crop it, upload it, and it's right inside your price book. Very simple, very easy, really kind of a fun function to use there. And then next one is accounting. We already talked about this a little bit. This is just going to tell us if this job pays commission, yes or no. If it's taxable, yes or no. And then also here, account, what bucket. All your stuff's going to go in the plumbing bucket, but if you ever expand to HVAC, this is where you'd separate it out so it goes to the right place for you guys. FieldEdge will also have some accounting functions for you guys as well to use. So I know there's a lot of information in that one task section. Any questions there?
No, thank you.
Perfect.
I have one question. Is this tab, or the techs are going to be using these tabs out in the field, or is this going to be something you do within the program, whoever manages the software?
Everything we're looking at here in this section is going to be whoever's managing it from the office, the software. The techs are never going to see this. They're only going to see what we looked at in the tablet earlier. This is all, just office stuff here that's controlled by you or whoever's going to be, doing all the stuff in the back. Very good. Any other questions here? All right, perfect. I'll quick jump over parts. We really already talked about parts. Again, just to recap, probably the easiest way is just to get a list from your distributor. They already have it in an Excel sheet. Every distributor does. Get them to send it to you or send it to us. We'll upload it. That way all your parts prices are right. Everything's the same. We talked about cost by product line. These next few lines here only belong to our standalone app customers here, pre-built option boards. And then this is our cloud-based customer service here. Again, with FieldEdge, you guys won't be taking advantage of any of those, but just real quick, show you what they are so you don't think I'm skipping anything. And then here, lastly, I like to call the hamburger, is really going to just go ahead where we can pull all our reports. You can pull them by trade, you can pull by parts, by sensitive parts, tasks. Then here we can also import our tasks. We can import your customers as well. So this is where we do all that reporting. We will help you out with any of that. Your parts list, like we said earlier, we kind of like to do that just because we do it a lot. We know how to get it in there right. No mistakes happen, especially when we're trying to do it, on a day where you guys are going out the next morning, make sure everything goes correctly. But we can pull stuff out for QuickBooks here. Again, here's your FieldEdge. Most everything is going to be done through FieldEdge, but any reports on the price book you can do here. Also, something I'll show you guys now. It is not currently live, but you do see the ServiceTitan logo here. We are the first with a ServiceTitan direct API integration, so everything will flow instantly into the program. The deal has been signed with FieldEdge. The integration is in development, and probably within the next 3 weeks, we will also be the first one with a one-touch with FieldEdge. So what that's going to mean is once you make all these changes, you just hit this FieldEdge button, hit go, 30 seconds, everything's going to be in FieldEdge. Send a text out to your guys to sync their tablets so the new information goes into their tablets, and you guys are charging the new stuff. It'll be a true, 1 to 3 minute process to update the price and then have it live in the field. So that's really exciting. We'll have that up and running here in the next few weeks. So guys, that's really all I have for you. If there's any questions, anything you guys want to go back and see, take another look at, let me have it.
I have questions regarding how this integrates with QuickBooks. I know it integrates with FieldEdge, but then FieldEdge has been pushing that stuff into our QuickBooks, which is online. Have there been any glitches that you've seen, and have you guys actually worked within another company within FieldEdge?
Yes, Field Edge, probably of our data customers, probably 65% are Service Titan, 35% are Field Edge. We probably have close to 100 customers on the Field Edge system using our price book now. We don't really have any problems with it. Again, that is a Field Edge functionality. They're pulling our content into their invoice and they're doing that. So issues may not have got back to us again because it's not something we can fix. It's their functionality. But like I said, we do have, I think, probably close to 100 people on Field Edge now using our price book. We haven't really had any complaints, any cancellations. So due to that, I would say that it's working properly.
Do you have a couple numbers that you could refer us to so we can
Yeah,
inquire with
yeah,
some
that's
guys that are using it?
sure. Where you guys? I see you are in the Pacific time zone. I don't have an address for you guys. Where are you located? I can see if I can find somebody somewhat close to you guys.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland? No problem. I will. I'll go ahead. Let me pull some out. I always like to just contact them first and make sure it's okay that I give their information out. I'm sure you guys understand and respect that. But let me reach out to a few and I'll grab some and I'll email those over to you maybe later this afternoon or Monday morning, depending on when I hear back from them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How long does the whole process, if we were to run with you, how long does the process of integrating this into Field Edge work, and how long would Field Edge need to be down?
Field Edge wouldn't need to be down. We simply just import the book in here. And then as far as the time frame, it's about 3 to 4 weeks to get everything set up for you guys here. I do have the schedule here if you want to give me just a quick second. Again, I was stuck on my last call, so I didn't get the right board up. But this is the Success Program. If you guys sign up with us, we take you through. For lack of a better word, it's truly a hand-holding process. We're going to go through and really teach your admins everything, how to make all the changes, everything we looked at. We're going to do a complete audit of install, meaning you guys don't have new equipment for HVAC, so that'll probably actually cut a week right out of this. And then we do a full audit of your book as well. Make sure the pictures are right, the descriptions are right, the task times are right, like we talked about. Make sure you have your right bill out rates. And when you guys are ready, we go live. To go live, it's just as simple as saying, we're ready. If the API is up, we just hit the button, you're in. If not, we send the file to Field Edge, they put it in. You guys are good to go. Field Edge really wouldn't ever have to be down at all. If you guys are up and running now, we just do it on a Friday night or something, get it in for the next Monday, and have you guys up and going. So Field Edge wouldn't have to come down at all.
How does that affect our pricing system we're using now? Because we have usually a lot of invoices that still haven't been finalized, invoices that haven't been paid, customer follow-up that we're going to be doing 3 weeks from now, or projects that are up and coming. And how is, if we take this, all this, put in this flat rate and go live, how is that going to affect what's already in place with our old pricing system?
Anything currently invoiced like that would be just fine. That's in Field Edge system, invoice, done as it is. Great point here. As far as quotes, things like that, you're either going to have to come in our system and manually enter the price you've quoted the customer, or you're going to have to re-quote it because it's now going to be our pricing system in there. So again, invoices, anything taken care of, already billed out, even if they're not paid, if you've already billed them out, those will all stay in Field Edge. But again, your new quotes, you're either going to have to manually enter those in, just the price when it comes in, or re-quote it through the Profit Rhino.
Okay, and then when the new integration of the flatware stuff, all of the previous stuff that existed in the Field Edge, you're saying with the old pricing system has no effect, it will still be there?
It'll come out. The Field Edge will know what's on the invoices that have already been invoiced out, and those will stay the same. When we put our price book in, our price book is going to replace what's in there. If you want to keep those current tasks, again, just like the parts, we'll export it into an Excel sheet, put it in our system, and you guys will have those same tasks in our system if you guys want to keep those. But once we go in, it is going to replace what you have in there currently.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. And then lastly, I like to call it the rhino in the room here, is the pricing. It is a monthly charge, $179 per month. That is the entire company. Unlimited office staff, unlimited users, unlimited future users. I know Field Edge charge you by the tech, so I always like to be very clear. That's for the entire company. You're all using one book. There's only one charge. And then we do a one-time charge of $12.99, and that is simply to cover the Success Program, the training, the audit, the setup of the price book. We do offer you guys a $200 discount if you're a member with any of these groups here as well, so we can get that down to $10.99 for you guys. Another cool thing we do that no one else really does is we don't do any kind of agreements. You guys are not with us for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. We're always a month to month from day one. Really, we feel like if you guys don't think this is a fit and not working for you guys, we'd rather shake hands and part ways as friends than have you guys, mad that you have to still pay for months on end. So something nice to keep in mind is you're not pigeonholed into it as well. So that's really what I have for you folks. Again, I'll open it up for any kind of questions or anything we want to jump back and take another look at.
So is that Success Training plus the 179? Is that just due, if we were to move forward, say tomorrow, we're going to got to pay all that up front right then and there?
The upfront, yes. What we can do, I can gladly split it for you guys in 2 or 3 payments. I know Field Edge and things get expensive, so it's nice to defer that a little bit. And then the monthly would be prorated. So if you guys signed up today, today's the 16th, you'd probably be billed around $84, something like that. And then all the billing monthly happens on the 1st. So that's where we prorate that too. So, but in the short answer, yes, at least a deposit on the Success Training and whatever the prorated version for the month would be due when you guys sign up.
So if we went and did it today or tomorrow, for example, then the go live date you said would take about, you said a month to get established?
Approximately 3 to 4 weeks. And be honest, the biggest time constraint there is going to be your availability for the meetings. Also, you guys don't have new equipment. This is a whole week meeting designated to new HVAC equipment. You guys don't have that. So realistically, we could really turn this down to a 2 or 3 week process because we're going to skip one of the whole steps.
Okay, and within the training, what is that really required from the techs as far as training them? Is there a process that the administration here in the office would need to do with each guy? Are we going to be assisted with that? Are you going to set up meetings for them? How is that going to?
Yeah, great question again. What we'll do, we'll set up a webinar just like this, bring them in, 15, 20 minutes before shift. And really the only big differences are going to be those upsells, cross-sells, that kind of stuff that we looked at. Just teach them quickly how to navigate. That training is all included, something we'll do. Also, if you hire 2 more guys in a year, you need them to come in. You have one guy who needs a refresher, which happens from time to time. We'll do all that, again, via webinar, just like we're doing today. Same thing with your admin training. If you guys need a new office manager, office staff, 2 years down the road, we'll pull them in and we'll give them the, the training on how to make all these changes and keep the book up to date and running. So that's all included with your ongoing $179 a month there.
So we get a new tech in, they could go through the training, and it's not going to cost them additional?
It won't cost you anything else. Nope, absolutely not. That's something, again, that's included. We want you guys out there to succeed because, let's be honest, we want all our monthly money coming in. So, really, we like to try and do what we can to make you guys succeed. Word of mouth is the best, recommendations you can ever get. And, if you guys are doing well, we're going to be doing well as well. So we're happy to do all that stuff for you guys when needed.
You guys got any veteran-owned discounts or anything like that?
I'm sorry, discounts for, I didn't hear the first part, sir.
For veterans?
For veterans, sure. I like veterans. I'll give you another $100 off. It's Friday. I'm easy to get along with. How about that?
So, I guess my other question for you is in regards to our responsibility, and I'm just trying to get a feel for this because we just switched over to Field Edge. It was a lot of work to get into Field Edge and take the data we already had. And you're explaining it very simple, but they did too. And it took us months to get things actually really finalized. And I'm kind of like feeling a little bit stressed out to the idea of this because I'm not really sure the simplicity is really what it is. So is there a way for me to see like an idea of what that actually looks like in FieldEdge, like an example of it?
This is just a price book, it's not FieldEdge. FieldEdge is
I know,
only-
but I want to see it from one of their customers, like an example of really what they're doing, just get a visual,
Okay.
see what they're solving.
Um,
And I'm not seeing how it integrates with FieldEdge at all.
It's the part.
I mean, we can jump back in the app and look at, you know, the pictures and everything in there again. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I saw the pictures and stuff, but
That's
how
all
does
this
that
is
work?
price it.
But
This
how
is
does
the
that
price
work
book.
with the invoices? The actual invoices we're
Right
getting.
now, we put in there $125, it goes right on the invoice. That'll be gone, and the picture will go on the invoice only. That's what.
But how is that for a customer? I don't want to see a picture.
Well, they don't see it. They see more than just a picture. Do you show the invoice?
I can go into FieldEdge. I don't have an invoicing feature on my FieldEdge demo that they've given us here. But I mean, you guys use FieldEdge. So if we go in here to this kitchen faucet, go to this guy here. On the bottom is going to be your add invoice. We add it to the invoice. It's going to go into a FieldEdge invoice, and it's going to look exactly like the way your current invoice looks like. Once it goes into that invoice, it is all back into the world of FieldEdge. Again, we're just providing the images, descriptions, task times. I think to circle back to something we talked about earlier, I think it's really good we find a reference, something you guys can talk to. I understand your plight. It's my job to make this sound as easy and as simple and as perfect as possible. You know, I completely get that. So I encourage that. I happily find you guys a reference. But just so you're aware, this is what it'll look like. And again, just like your current price book, when you add that to an invoice, then we're back into FieldEdge, so the invoice is going to look exactly the same as it does now for you.
Yeah. Hold on one second. You know when we type it in there, we type in plumbing.
Yeah.
That's what these are. That's what all these little boxes.
No, I get that.
Okay.
I get that that's what this is. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to say, it looks like you guys already have the pricing in here. In our system for their materials, they don't. They just put whatever they feel like they want to bill. So if we're going to flat rate, my understanding is that is already a projected rate. They don't get to fluctuate those rates. We do that, right?
Correct. They cannot do that. And these rates are determined on whatever time we have on this task. This one here has, you can see here, hours to complete 0.91666. I don't know why they didn't make it 0.9 or 1 hour. So we're taking your 190 rate. We're adding it by 0.91 hours. Your parts cost with that parts markup chart we looked on the website, and that's where we're coming up with this flat rate price we're pushing out to the customer. All those prices are controlled on the web end from you guys by manipulating either your hourly bill out rate, the time for the task, or the markup chart for the parts. And that's all done in the office.
Okay, and then is that not visible to the customer?
That is not visible to the customer. The customer is never going to see their parts cost. They're never going to see a bill out rate. All the customer is going to see now. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess my thing is what about that customer that says they want to know exactly a flat rate? They want to know exactly what it was, what they were charged for. They need it broken down for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's when I can. That's what I had to do there.
How do we do that?
You don't.
Short answer, he's right. That's time and material. You know, that's what we're trying to walk away from here. You know, when we're breaking it down and they see that we charged them 1 hour at $180 an hour, they go haywire. That's why we're showing them right now, if this takes 20 minutes or 4 hours, no matter how many extra parts we need, we're charging you $183. That's the impression we're giving to the customer here when we're doing flat rate. The whole real point is to take that piece away from them, which is, you know, what scares them. Why did you know, I can go buy this faucet on Amazon or at Lowe's for $25. Why are you charging me $89 for it? We're taking that away and we're just giving them this one price.
Oh, I've had to deal with it. I get the phone call all. Yeah,
Okay.
I have to tell you what goes into the price.
Okay.
So they ask me for a price and say, well, yeah, we got. I mean, give it to this list I got. I gotta pay for a guy, I gotta pay for a truck, I gotta pay for tires, I gotta pay for.
Well, no,
all
no,
included
yeah.
in this price.
Yeah, no, I get all that. It's just, how many times are we gonna have to explain this to our customers?
At first, it's gonna be a lot.
And that's something the scheduler is gonna have to,
No, they don't ever, we'd have to do that.
so she's gonna transfer all these calls.
Yeah. If I know how to do it already, and you can't
Yeah,
have a
but if you're out in
scheduler
the
doing it,
field, who's gonna do it?
I'll call them back.
Okay, and so I guess for our accounting office, it's really not gonna affect them as much. But when we do expenses, when we do materials right now, we assess for our expenses. So we add the expenses of whatever we use out in the field in the job. So if the guys go and buy an item out in the field when they're prior to doing their job or during their job, we add that expense into Field Edge. So with this flat rate system, we're not going to really be doing that.
You still could do that.
You could add it on as an extra part, absolutely. If we have the task here, the part is just a faucet and a few O-rings. Your guy had to go out and buy a coupler or something like that. He can just add that part on there. We'll have a task for it. He can add it on. We can also just have miscellaneous tasks where you can literally just add a part on. If a part costs you $10, you can add a $10 part, and it's going to charge that $10 part plus your markup and put that on there. So if your markup's 100%, it's going to put a $20 on that invoice for you here, and then you can write in the description whatever you want, special part for Mrs. Jones sink, whatever it may be, and put that on there. So you can add just individual part time. You can also put labor times. We have pre-built labor adders. So if you're on a job and it's going to take longer just because of how you have to get into the product, you can add the extra labor right to the job as well. All those are pre-built in the system for you guys.
Okay. So I guess my question to you is if we did this flat rate system, the guys are buying materials still out in the field, we're not being able to, they're then going to have to account for every item that they buy out in the field on that invoice.
Now, right?
No, they do not. They
Well,
do
they're
not
supposed
do that.
to. Yeah, you're right.
And if they don't use it on this job, then they're going to be needing to return it like what we
What's
expect
the
them to
difference
do.
of it now, though? I mean, you're right. It's the same process it's supposed to be now.
But here, if they could just go buy items and they don't have to even mention them because it's a flat rate.
It's still gonna have a job order number, and it's still gonna have everything else. So they go there, still gotta get the job name for a PO, just like we do now.
Right, but where are we going to account it for on the invoice? Where are we going to account for those materials if we're not breaking it down?
Well, okay. Do you have anything else? I can talk to you about this.
Okay. You understand that, Ben? Okay.
Kind of.
I guess yeah. Can you send me, is there a way to get just a review of this meeting so that I can kind of go back over it? And I just want to make sure that this is going to work for our accounting. They're excited about it because it's easy for the techs to use, but I have to deal with the back end of it. So
Sure.
I just want to make sure I'm going to be able to assess for all the expenses that are used for jobs and still be able to get that into our QuickBooks system.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. What I can do, I actually have a private YouTube channel. I can download and put it on so you guys can go back and watch the demo again. Absolutely. Again, just to remind you though, all your accounting stuff is Field Edge function. We are just the price book. So that all that accounting stuff is going to function just the way it does now for you because it's a function of Field Edge, not of Profit Rhino. So you shouldn't really see any changes at all in how you're exporting to QuickBooks and stuff. I understand your expenditures. We may have to find a workaround for you guys. But as far as getting it into QuickBooks and all that stuff, it's going to work exactly the same because it's still Field Edge functionality.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. I'll get that downloaded. I have references for you guys here to check on as well. Anything else? Other questions you guys had, or anything you want me to get around and send over for you folks?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
Very
for your
good.
time.
No, you're very welcome. Any questions that pop up in the meantime, I'll shoot you over my email. Give me a call. Shoot me an email. Let me know if we need to jump on and look at something again. Happy to do it. Just let me know what I can do to help facilitate you guys. and we'll just take it from there.
Okay, you have my email at accounting?
I do have the email at accounting, yes.
Okay, great.
Perfect. All right. Well, great, guys. If there's no other questions, we're all set. I'll let you get on to your Friday so we can get done with it and get the weekend here.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great weekend.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.